Today is Saturday, which means it is Park Run Day, and we're heading to a beautiful beach park run, which is Seacliff Esplanade Park Run. So I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know about this park run, whilst also trying to achieve my fastest time. So let's get into it. Seacliff Esplanade Park Run is located along Seacliff Beach and towards Brighton Beach, which is southwest of the Adelaide CBD in South Australia. The park run starts at 8 AM like all of the other park runs here in South Australia, and it is a flat two-lapper all on hard-standing surfaced path, so therefore I recommend wearing road shoes. There is no need for trail shoes at this park run. It is also good to note that the course is buggy/pram friendly, it is dog friendly too, and there are public toilets literally located on the start line, so you can't complain about that. In terms of how good this course is for a PB, I'd say it is the perfect course. However, because it is so busy, it can get very congested and difficult to overtake, so therefore you may lose some time there. So maybe that will take a few seconds off, so maybe there are quicker ones in and around the area. And with 293 park runners on the day that we went, it does get very congested, especially with it being a two-lapper and an out and back too. The scenery here was beautiful, getting to look all along Seacliff Beach. There's people sailing in the sea, people swimming in the sea, and it is white sands too, so you can't ask for much more. And I also have a vlog on my main channel where I actually go and explore Seacliff Beach and Brighton Beach, and I actually got to spot a dolphin too, which was amazing. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a little link to my channel in the description below. But before we do go any further, if you don't know what a park run is, it is essentially a 5K run which is ran by a group of volunteers. They both time and marshal the event. When you hit that finish line, you'll be given a finish token. This will be scanned alongside your own personalised barcode, and then later on you'll be sent an email with your official time and position. Now let me take you through a quick summary of the course. So you're going to start in the middle of the lap and head your way to the south, do a U-turn and head your way up to the north, and then you're going to be doing that 2 times. It is all very flat too, as you can see with the elevation in that top left hand corner, and then you finish around the centre here. So it's got an elevation gain of 0 meters and a max elevation of just 6 meters. That is a quick summary of the course, but now let me take you through it in just that little bit more detail. So you're going to start off here at the Kingston Park Coastal Reserve and head your way down to the south. So this is all on the path. It gets very congested in this section, especially because of how many people there are at this park run and how thin the path is. And then you'll do a U-turn once you hit this point here. So it gets even more congested as you've then got people coming in both directions. Once you pass that start line again, you can then overtake a lot easier as there's no one going in the opposite direction. So you'll pass that holiday park, then you'll pass the yacht club, and then you'll notice there's this bit where it sort of banks down and then back up because the cars have to get onto the beach in that section. So do be careful there because it drops quite quickly and then goes back up quite quickly. So you're then going to do a sharp left-hand turn onto the boardwalk, followed by a sharp right-hand turn, and then you'll do a U-turn up at this section here and head your way back towards where you started. So being careful of all of the same things which I have just mentioned. And then once you hit that bit where you started, you then do a second lap, so heading your way all the way down to the south, doing the first U-turn, heading your way all the way up to the north, doing that U-turn, and then heading your way all the way back to where you started, and that will be your finish line. So it's literally a straight line up and down, but as I was saying, it gets very, very congested. You can't really go wrong because there's just 2 cones, one either end, which are pointing you to do that U-turn and head your way back. Now you know a little bit more about the park run, let me take you through some incredible records which have been set here at Seacliff Esplanade. So starting off with the fastest male, who is Lachlan Scott, with a time of 15 minutes and 6 seconds, which is unbelievably fast. The fastest female is Carly Taylor with a time of 17 minutes and 48 seconds, which has to be one of the fastest female times I've seen. And then the average number of runners is 251, so it's quite a busy park run with the average time being 32 minutes and 2 seconds. So you can see that it is a pretty quick one. And those are some incredible records which have been set at this park run. But now let me take you through my overall park run stats. Starting off with the number of park runs, which now hits 90. The number of locations is 66, and my best finish position is 4th, set in Poland, with my fastest times ranging from 22:32 to 23:08. 1:09, and we're getting closer and closer to those times, so hopefully one day we can push one of them off the leaderboard. And now we're at the point which you've all been waiting for in this video. Let's get down to Seacliff Esplanade PARKRUN, event number 348. And as you can see right now, it is super busy as we're trying to make our way into the right zone. So there's basically volunteers which hold up times, and you basically got to sort of slot into that section. However, because it is so busy, you might end up not on the path, which is what we are doing right now. And it's actually a bench right near the start which funnels you onto the path. So do be careful about running into that bench. But we're going to be setting off in 3, 2, 1, and we are off. The timer has started, yet we're stuck behind so many people right now, so it's going to be really difficult to overtake them. You can see there, that's the section where you don't want to trip over anything. There's Beth just overtaking us, not realizing she'd done so either, so I gave her a quick tap on the back, but we are off, and we're going to have to use this grass section to get past some people. Otherwise, we're going to be waiting for ages. So if you are looking for a PB, definitely get out there near the front. Be careful of those benches though, so you don't stack it on one of those. We're going to go around the outside of that one. But so far, it has not been the quickest of starts, but we are beginning to pick it up right now. But if you are enjoying this review or you do find it useful, I'd really appreciate it if you smashed that subscribe button, because if you've got this far, hopefully you must be enjoying this video. But hopefully we can start to pick up the pace, try and slip past a couple of people. But right now we are stuck behind people, so we can only keep at the pace of the person in front of us. We are now about 400 meters into the run, and as you can see, we're overtaking around the right-hand side, but do be careful because people are now heading their way back, so you don't want to collide into one of those. Look at how beautiful it is though, just running alongside the coast with the beautiful waves on the right-hand side. It was actually really hot on the day, so that made it a little bit harder, and quite windy too on one of our directions. So going downhill, it was quite windy against you, and going uphill, the wind was with you, but you got really hot because you didn't have that breeze blowing into your face. But right now, we're going to start to make that U-turn. There was a big football team or something, so you'll notice loads of people there have the exact same top on, so I'm not sure if it's a football team that trains every park run Saturday, just does their run. But we're now going to go around that U-turn and head our way back towards the north. There's no cone there, it's just a little arrow painted on the floor to point you in that right direction. And if you do want any information on my split times or on the elevation, then do make sure to check out my Strava, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. So that's obviously got my times from each week, and it's also got all the elevations from all the different park runs, which I have done. But thankfully we picked it up to about a 5-minute pace now, so still a little bit slower than I'd like it to be. However, it's much quicker than where we started. And now the course has opened up a bit as we make our way past where we started there on that right-hand side. But just look at how amazing the beach looks on the left. The white sands, the blue waters. Unfortunately, they've got an algal bloom on right now. And if you don't know what that is, then just give it a Google, and basically it kills off a lot of the wildlife which is in the water, which is not ideal. And the doctors say that it's safe for you to swim in it, but a lot of people are a bit skeptical on whether to go in there or not. So it's up to you whether you want to go for a swim after, but it's the perfect thing to do if you do want to cool down. But we're heading our way downhill slightly, I'd say. So it was on 3 meters and now it's on, well, it says -0. Obviously we're not going underground right now, but we're passing one of the places where you can park, and also one of the cafes which you can go to after you have finished the run. But we've hit the first kilometre in a time of around 4 minutes and 42 seconds. We're just trying to slip past Buggy right now, so do try and keep to the left-hand side so you can overtake on the right. Obviously, they were doing it the opposite way. And there's that the campsite on that right-hand side where you can also stay to if you've got a tent or if you've got one of the mobility homes. So here we go. Let's keep going. Hopefully, we can keep at this pace. We managed to bring it back slightly. However, we're still behind time if you want to get anywhere near to those times on the leaderboard. Doing well right now, running at a pace of around 4 minutes and 43 seconds. There's another car park which you can park at if you want to go there, and then that's like a peace sign on the left hand side, which is really cool. And then this is the little bit here where you actually drop down quite quickly and then straight back up. So you'll notice here it drops down to where the cars go onto the beach, and then it's straight back up the other side. So be careful coming back up so you don't like trip on yourself, sort of thing. But you'll have noticed as well a couple of people heading their way back, like that guy just just there, so do be wary of them. You don't want to stick too far to the right, otherwise you're going to run straight into those people. So do try and stick to the left-hand side. And in just a second, we'll be cutting off to the left and onto the boardwalk. And so this is the section which I was just talking about. So it's going to be a sharp left-hand turn onto the boardwalk, then a sharp right-hand turn onto the main section of the boardwalk, and then you'll do a U-turn in just a moment and head your way back to complete lap number 1. It's currently 1.7 kilometers into the run, running still at around 4:43, so it's not looking like a PB potential today. We're getting stuck behind people again here by the looks of it too, as we slow down to go around that U-turn. So we've made it round, and then a quick push off, and hopefully we can catch up to the people ahead and overtake them. So you can see the green tops just flown past them there on that right hand side. Kilometer 2 complete, running that one in a time around 4 minutes and 43 seconds again. So very similar pace to what we had before, and I definitely recommend coming to this section after at the beach bar, because as you can see, they're doing bacon butties on there. So if you want a bacon butty after you've run, you definitely deserve one. Go and head over there and grab some bacon. But look at how amazing that is. You might not be able to see most of it because I'm in that top corner, but they've got, all you can see right now is the white sands, the blue waters, and there's that public toilet as well if you do need to go. But hopefully if we can keep up at this pace, we'll get a decent time, maybe even under 24 minutes or so. So we'll have to see by the time we get to the end. That is 1 lap down and 1 lap to go. So you'll be passing the finish line, which you can see right now on that left-hand side. So it is a sharp turn to the left when you do actually get to the finish line. You see just how beautiful the sea is. I know I keep saying it, but it is amazing. And it's much harder running this way. Well, it was on the day because there was no wind coming at you, so it wasn't cooling you down, and it was really warm. You can see just how blue the skies were on the day. So that just made it even harder because it was hot, sweaty, and I just wanted to jump in the sea right now. But being careful to overtake there because we don't want to run into the people on the opposite side, and it's also public too. So just be very wary on this one of how congested it does get. And now we're making our way up to that U-turn, which we won't have to do again. So we're just going to go around there and head our way all the way back up to the north. So we don't have to do that section ever again, which is good news. And the wind is now blowing against us, which is obviously slowing us down. However, it's cooling us down now, which is very nice. And we ran that last kilometer with a time of 4 minutes and 42 seconds. So we're actually slightly quicker on that kilometer than our first 2 kilometers, but we're managing to keep at a similar pace throughout the whole of this. Again, there are some beautiful houses on that right hand side that have got views over the sea, which is amazing. And if there are any park runners which are living in any of those, this is the perfect one to go to because it's literally a 5-minute walk to the start and then you can get going. But there's plenty of parking, as you have seen, loads of street parking and car parking spots too, so there's no need to worry about any of that. 3.5 kilometers into the run now, still running at around a 4:45 pace, so we've actually slowed down ever so slightly. But one thing I did notice with this park run is there's no areas of shade. So usually you've got like little tree areas where you can cool down a little bit. With this one, you just couldn't cool down at all. So that is why it felt so hot. Maybe we'll get a little bit of shade as we pass this building here on the right-hand side, which will be nice, but the head is still in the sun by the looks of it, which is not ideal, but still doing well. Hopefully we can hold this pace just for a little bit longer, and we might even get a sub at 24 minutes. So that is kilometer 4 completed with a time of 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So we are slowing down as we are struggling with the heat and just losing a lot of energy too. So hopefully we can start to pick it up. I did actually have a Christmas party the day before. So well, this one was obviously last year, the end of last year. So that didn't help with this run. So as I had quite a few drinks the night before, but we're still doing pretty well to keep at this sort of pace. I'm going to be turning off to the left in a minute and heading back onto that boardwalk. You may have also noticed that little flies keep flying past. For some reason in this area, there were hundreds of flies. And I don't know why, because when we did the walk from Seacliff up to Brighton Beach, there were loads of flies on the way there too. And I've got no idea how this lady is doing it with a buggy, especially with the U-turns. Let's watch what she does at this U-turn, because it looks really congested. And I can't actually remember what happens here, whether I have to sort of run round her or not, because it's going to be a tight turn, especially with the path being so slim. But here we go, let's see what she does right now. There's the cone there to go around. Let's see how well she does this turn. To be fair, that's pretty good. The poor little kid that's in the pram's probably flying as she goes around that turn, but it'd be like a little bit of a roller coaster. But hopefully we can get past her before the end, because I can't be letting that kid in the pram beat me in this run. With 500 metres to go, we've lost our pace a little bit as we're now running at a 4 minutes and 55 second pace. We don't want to drop below that 5 minutes, otherwise we'll probably just miss out on that 24 minutes. So we're going to have to go for an overtake at some point around this pram, as we're stuck right now and there's people coming on the opposite side, so I obviously don't want to run into them. So we're losing a couple of seconds just there, but it is beautiful. Just look at those white sands, blue beaches, and a great place to sit and chill out after the run too. So now we're going to go in for the overtake and make our way towards that finish line. And we are coming up towards the finish line, and as you can see, it is a bit of a struggle now, as we have dropped our pace all the way down to 5 minutes and 3 seconds, which is not ideal. Of course, a good sprint finish there from Blue Top, who's just flown past us. But I believe this is a very gentle incline, so this is definitely the hardest bit of the run, this final section, which feels like a gentle incline. You're hot, sweaty, you just want to finish this run. But here we go, we're going to break out now into that final sprint finish and then cut off to the left into that finish line. What time are we going to get? Are we going to get under 24, or are we just going to miss out? It looks like we're going to miss out by just a second, maybe 2, and we get a time of 24 minutes and 1 second. So if we were a little bit quicker in that final kilometre, then maybe we could have got a sub 24 minutes. But in terms of the park run, it was absolutely stunning, being able to see the white sandy beaches, the blue seas, the blue sky. It was just very hot and sweaty with no shade whatsoever. But now let me take you through a quick overview of the park run. We came in 65th position, and now let me take you through a quick summary. Seacliff Esplanade Park Run complete, ticking off the 10th S on the Alphabet Challenge. So I thought last week was the 10th S, that was actually the 9th. This week is the 10th S, which means that we have completed the Snakes Challenge on the 5K app. So that's one extra bonus. And also, as I've never come in 65th position, we also add that onto our position bingo challenge too. So that's 2 challenges completed, despite the fact that we didn't quite get a PB today. In terms of whether you're going to get a PB or not, I actually think there is a good chance you could get a PB on a good day. You do get very hot, which I think does make it a little bit more difficult. So maybe if you went on a cooler day, maybe if it was cloudy, and if it was a little bit quieter, or you got out near the front, then maybe you've got more of a chance of getting that PB instead. And then in terms of how beautiful it is, it was stunning with the white sands, the blue waters, the blue skies. Couldn't ask for much more in terms of beaches, and I definitely recommend walking along the beach after you have finished the park run, or even going for a swim in the sea, because that would be beautiful, especially after how hot and sweaty you have got from doing the run. The volunteers were also amazing on the day, so I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the volunteers who made this park run happen, because without them there'd be no park run, and they were all really supportive, and also the photographer was great too, getting some amazing action shots during the run. But now, as I always do, let me take you through a couple of the pinch points. So these are the points which are going to slow you down at this park run, which will stop you from getting your PB time. So pinch point number 1 is going to be super congested. So throughout the whole of the park run, it was really congested, difficult to overtake people, and especially at the start, we lost quite a few seconds there, and we definitely would have got a sub 24 if we didn't have that. Also, pinch point number 2 is going to be the U-turns. So there's obviously 4 U-turns which you have to do in the end, 2 to the south and then 2 to the north too. So they're going to slow you down, take a couple of seconds each time you do one. And then number 3 is going to be subjective, because it's for today, and that was the weather. So obviously it was really hot, there's no shade, so you're getting hot and sweaty, which makes it even harder. And also it was a little bit windy too, which is going to slow you down. So if you go on the perfect day, then maybe you can get an unbelievably quick quick time, especially if it's quiet and the weather is perfect for running. But apart from that, don't think I've got any more pinch points, so do make sure to let us know down in that comment section below if you have any pinch points of your own. And now let's move into the tips and tricks section of this video, where I tell you how to get to this park run and where to go for that post-park run coffee. So let's start off with public transport. So if you're thinking of getting there via train, the closest stop is the Merino Railway Station, which is on the Seaford line. And from that station, it is just a 10-minute walk to the start. So that is definitely one viable option. In terms of the trams, unfortunately, there are no tram lines near to this park run, so you can't get there via tram. However, if you want to get there via bus, the closest stop to the start is stop 45 Newland Avenue, and from there is just a 10-minute walk. And there's only one bus which actually operates to this bus stop, and that is number 640. So if I were you, I would just check on the day, look onto Google Maps or whatever, put in Seacliff Esplanade PARKRUN and just see how long it takes to get there and which is the best way of getting there. In terms of if you want to get there via car, there is some street parking, but that does fill up very quickly, and there is also the car park here, which is at Brighton and Seacliff Yacht Club, and that also fills up pretty quickly. So if I were you, I'd make sure to get there as early as possible so then you can get your spot. And then if you're looking to go for that post-park run coffee, there are two different cafes which you can go to. So cafe number one is the SLSC Bistro, and then cafe number two is the Brighton and Seacliff Yacht Club. Both of these are next to each other, and there's plenty of seating available for you too, and it's all in the shade, which is very nice. And I definitely recommend getting one of those bacon butties as well from the beach club, because they were delicious. If you do have any tips or tricks of your own, then do make sure to let us know down in that comment section below. And if you're a local too, if any of them have changed, let us know down in the comments too, so I can pin it up to the top so that others watching can see those comments. And now let's take a look through my after run stats, where not much has changed. However, the number of park runs increases by 1 to 91, and the number of locations increases to 67. All my fastest times and my best position stays exactly the same. However, we are getting closer and closer to being able to knock one of those times off. So that is going to be it for Seacliff Esplanade PARKRUN. And if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like button and subscribed if you are new, because did you know that 80% of you who are watching right now are not subscribed? And the more subscribers and views we get, the better the videos will get too. Also, you should go and check out last week's video, which was stunning again, and that was in Strathalbyn, which was a lot quieter and we got a lot quicker time too. So I definitely recommend going back and checking that one out. Or you can go check out all of my other ones in the worldwide parkrun playlist, which has them from all over Europe, Asia, and Australia too. Next week though, we're going to be heading over to Jubilee Way Parkrun to complete our first ever J on the Alphabeteer Challenge. So I'm looking forward to ticking that off, as I've not been able to tick off a new letter in a long time. So I'll see you all there with a new parkrun.